busy working and figuring this out and not listening to me.
That's correct. I am completely ignoring you. Okay. All right. So I think we're now live on everything. My video looks
I don't see it on Twitter.
choppy.
I don't know how to make it live on Twitter.
Oh, I don't know how to do that either. All right.
Do you know, did it work? Does it say that it worked?
I don't have any way of knowing if it's live on Twitter or not. So, but we're live everywhere else. So I'd say let's go with it. My video seems real laggy. Is your video laggy?
You seem laggy.
Huh. Interesting. Okay. Well, let's go anyway. Hopefully it'll work out. We'll just make it. We'll figure it out.
Do I have to create a broadcast on?
Yes, I think on Twitter you have to create a broadcast. Yeah.
Is that the problem? Because
probably.
Okay.
But I don't know anything about that one.
Y'all, what episode number is this? Oh, look at that. I see us now.
243, episode 243.
243.
So to anybody that has joined us now, we are live on Facebook, my LinkedIn, YouTube. Check out our YouTube channel, subscribe. And we're trying to get live on Twitter right now. And then we are going to live record our Tech Talk Y'all episode just because it's fun to do that. So, I mean, why not, right? So
I'm hearing a little echo for some reason, by the way, and maybe it's because I'm doing the Twitter thingy right now.
If you have it open, if you have the Twitter thing open another screen, you're probably hearing it through that.
That's what
so
it is.
Okay,
so I just muted it.
That. Yeah, that's what I had to do as well. All right, I'm starting. So you ready? Let's do this.
Well, hold on a minute. Let me make sure that we're actually live on Twitter.
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go.
Copy link. Okay. I'm gonna post it on Twitter.
Post it up. Let's get it done.
With Tech Talk.
There's nothing like watching Sanjay copy and paste stuff. Like it's glorious. It's the magic of the internet right there. It's the golden age of the internet.
Do you have the Tech Talk Y'all Twitter account? Because we should probably post this on there.
No, we got to go, man. We got to start. We'll do it next week on there.
Okay, fine.
I'm ready.
We'll do it next week.
I'm itching.
Hold on. I want to just check and make sure that it's working. It's working on Twitter. Okay, good. Okay, let's do this thing. Light the candle.
All right.
Wait, who's starting? You're starting.
I'm starting. Here we go.
Welcome to Tech Talk, y'all.
Hi, and welcome to Tech Talk, y'all. Season 9, episode 243. I'm Adam Walker.
And I'm Sanjay Park. And by the way, I think we should make a season 10 now because, I was just away and now I'm back. So maybe this should be season 10.
Season 10. Right on. We're introducing season 10. The season numbers are meaningless, but that's half of the fun.
And the points don't matter.
And the points don't matter. So listen, this episode is brought to you by our companies Together Letters and Edgewise. TogetherLetters.com. If you want to stay connected to the important people in your life and you don't want to have to do that via social media, do it on Together Letters. Groups of 10 or less are free. Together Letters of 10 or less are free, I should say. And Edgewise.media, if you want to do a podcast and create an insane amount of marketing content from it, we can help you do that. Check us out at Edgewise.media. So first of all...
Also in real life, groups of 10 or less are free.
No,
if you just want to get
in the real world,
10 people.
If you go to the park. Well, only if you go to the park. If you go bowling, it's not free. So.
Well, that's true.
Yeah. All right. Listen. Two things. Number one, we have a crazy lot of articles to get through today. It's going to be fantastic. And number two, Sanjay's back.
I'm back.
Oh, so good, man. So good to see your face. I've been missing you, man. It's great. So
yeah,
listen,
so we were away on vacation in case listeners wanted to know where I was.
Yeah.
But we went on our first kind of post into the pandemic vacation. And
we didn't want to announce that while you were out of town because that's not exactly security minded. So we're telling everybody.
No. But now that I'm back, it doesn't matter because you can't break into my house now because I'm already here.
Exactly.
So
You're already sitting there. So
I'm already sitting there.
This is going to be a great episode. In this episode, we've got a lot of Tesla and Elon Musk. We got some new Instagram features, a new social media platform you need to be aware of, some Amazon articles. Also, we're looking at FCC regulations, which everybody just loves FCC regulations. Netflix, Meta's forced sale of Giphy, and of course, at the end, Weird and Wacky and TechRex, which are just my favorite. So listen, let's start out. Sanjay, what's our first article?
So first up, we've got a series of articles about Twitter and Elon Musk. Of course, I actually snuck one in while you were getting coffee. So it's a surprise because I was reading while I was waiting for you. But a judge granted Twitter's claim or request for a speedy trial in the whole breakup between Elon Musk and buying Twitter and all that. The article that I snuck in was, well, just today, Twitter had their announcement of earnings and they were not so good. And they blamed Elon Musk. He took center stage. They blamed him for part of the reason why their results were not good because of all the uncertainty he's created around it. And apparently,
they're not wrong.
$33 million, I think, is what the number is, in preparation of being acquired, and then all this chaos of all the stuff afterwards as well. So,
yeah. Well, I feel like also like company morale at Twitter has to just like plummeted just over and that's got to really mess up everything else as well. So yeah, I mean, I think it's got to be at least partly his fault for sure.
I'm sure productivity and everything else like that has suffered over there, which is a shame because we love Twitter. We're live streaming on Twitter. Like, hey, come on, let's do some things good.
Well, some good news for Elon Musk, and I guess also for me if I want to own like a Tesla. So Mattel to launch SpaceX vehicles as new Matchbox toys and collectibles. Apparently, they also have Teslas as Matchbox vehicles. Hence the comment. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting to me that of all of the billionaire companies going to space, SpaceX is the one they're going to choose. But SpaceX, I read another article, is going into space 10 times more than everybody else out there. So, I mean, I guess it makes sense to do that.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it's worth buying these and keeping them in the package because either way, right, if something goes really well with them or really disastrous with them, as a collectible, it might be actually worth something. So,
might be good both ways. That's true.
So I might have to go pick one of those up. Speaking of Tesla, Tesla gets an exclusive lane at a U.S.-Mexico border crossing. When I read the title, at first I thought, wait, if you're riding in a Tesla, that means you get no, it's actually not that.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah. It's for their goods that are coming in from Mexico that are used to build the cars. They have a dedicated lane. And to be clear, this is apparently at one of the border crossings that's not that busy. Normal delay at this crossing is 20 minutes. So it's not like the ones that you maybe have seen that are backed up for like hours and hours. So this is over in Texas, which apparently is not
presumably
so busy,
near
so
the
good
Tesla plant, I believe.
Right.
So yeah, but it is interesting to see like Tesla's logo like on a border crossing sign. Like that was fascinating to me. And smart to negotiate that deal. If it speeds up everything for them, it'll help with all their lag times. So,
it definitely helps with logistics and things like that. It does feel a little weird because it feels like special treatment for a company like that. And I don't know.
Yeah.
I
wonder if it's been done for other companies before. I bet it has, but it'd be interesting to find that out.
Maybe.
We probably should have taken the time to research that before, but
yeah, it's better to just pontificate without knowing anything. It's
speaking of not knowing anything, Instagram's new payments feature lets users buy products via direct messages. So apparently that you can see a product from a user or from a company on Instagram now, and then you can direct message that company and say, oh, I want this product, and they can just send you a payment link directly in Instagram, and you click the payment button, and then you just pay right there, and the payments are actually processed through PayPal. So they're I guess trying to make the shopping experience even easier through Instagram, which I guess makes sense because a ton of influencers are doing a ton of stuff around all of these different brands. So cool, I guess. Why not?
Yeah, I think most people for I guess some set of products, right? Like not something that's probably less than $20. You're gonna want to talk to somebody about it, right? Like you're spending a couple $100s on something. You might have some questions and you want to get that little bit of warm fuzzy that there's somebody behind there that's going to stand behind it and answer questions if you have issues. And I think this helps speed that process, right? I have a couple questions and then, okay, I'll go ahead and buy.
So what you're saying is they need to implement the warm and fuzzy bot for you to interact with on the Instagram DMs is what you're telling me.
Yeah.
Not the cold and calculating bot, obviously.
Yeah. I don't get warm and fuzzies at a lot of stores, and that turns me off into buying. So, if you can give me warm fuzzies over Instagram DMs, I'm in.
All right, good.
Next up is a social media platform that we actually talked to you about earlier before it was hot. Now it's a fad or a
Yeah.
frenzy. So fad or
Yeah.
frenzy, Be Real is having a real moment right now. The numbers are pretty fascinating.
Yep.
What are they up to? Like 20 million installs
Yeah.
with 35% of their market here in the US.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting, and it's also interesting that so Be Real. Just as a reminder, the concept of the app is kind of almost like an anti-Instagram. Like it's unedited photos. So once a day, it'll send you a push notification, say, "Hey, it's time for your Be Real," and you'll open it up, and it'll take a picture, basically simultaneously of what's in front of you, the front of your camera, and the camera that's facing you to see your face. And the idea is that you just kind of show like where you are and what you're doing at that time, and it's not super composed, and it's not super filtered, and all that other junk. And the younger generations are really taking to it and loving it. I'm on it. The problem I have is almost every time that it asks me to do a Be Real, I'm sitting at my desk, and it's like, how many times can I do the same desk shot? And then it's like, and then there's that moment of like, oh crap, is what's on my screen like proprietary in any way? Like, is that going to show client information and like all that kind of like, sort of stuff. So
Right.
it takes me a second to kind of think through it, but it's been interesting. The problem I have with it right now is the same problem with most social media platforms, which is that almost nobody I know is on there, and so it's like,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
And I think it's even a further step for Be Real in that your posts are not public, right? They only go to the group that you've
Yeah,
created.
only your friends. Yeah, only your friends.
Only your
That's right. Yeah.
friends.
Yeah.
So
but
if
but
you-
anybody, but it is like Instagram in that anybody can follow anybody else. So I think anybody that follows
okay.
you, I believe, still sees it. So it's very Instagram-like in that way.
Oh, okay.
as far as
Okay.
I know. Yeah.
Okay. I was getting worried that you had no friends, and so that's why you didn't have anybody.
I mean,
Looking
there
at
is
your post.
that. So speaking of no friend, no, this is not anything related to friends. Amazon makes Prime Video look more like Netflix and every other streaming app. So Amazon has decided to make Prime Video less Amazon-y and more Netflixy, which, okay, cool.
And you might be able to watch the TV show Friends on there, so it might have something to do with Friends.
Nah, Friends is on HBO Max, man. I just finished that
Oh.
bad boy off again. So,
yeah, that's right.
yeah,
Yeah,
there you
there
go.
you go. So so maybe it'll be a little bit easier to navigate the Amazon app. I do find sometimes I have a hard time finding things because it's not
It's
like
wacky.
everything else.
Yeah.
Talking about something else that's going to be like something else soon. Microsoft is launching a Facebook ripoff inside of Teams. So just like Amazon wanting to be like Netflix, Microsoft wants to be like Facebook. I
Okay.
guess.
Okay, two things. Number one, try not to make coffee come out my nose. Okay. When I'm
That is
drinking
actually
coffee,
my
don't say
entire
funny
goal.
stuff.
That's my entire goal the whole episode, always.
No, number two, people use social media as a diversion from work. Why would they use a work social media? Like, this just seems totally crazy to me.
Because it's clear that all your friends are the people that you work with and you don't have friends outside of there.
I mean, it just seems so crazy.
mean,
it's so. I mean,
It's
I
clear to
guess I could see, like,
Microsoft that that's true. That's why they have LinkedIn and that's why they have Teams, because they know that's where all your friends are. So
well, I will
this
say
makes
more
sense.
of my friends are on LinkedIn these days than used to be. I will say that. No, I guess I guess I can see this for like larger companies, so you can like post like maybe like what projects you're working on and sort of stay a little more connected, a little more in the know. I will say though, like honestly, I really feel like Together Letters is a way better solution for this. Like I really do for like an internal company newsletter. It's so much simpler. It's so much easier, and it's all via newsletter, via email. So. I think this is fine. It just doesn't seem likely to me to go anywhere. So.
Yeah. By the way, you just made the comment that more of your friends are on LinkedIn, and I did not tag this article, but I read it this last week. Something like 30 or 40% of the people that resigned during the Great Resignation now regret resigning during the Great Resignation.
Really?
And changing jobs. Yeah. Yeah.
What?
They're not happy with the move that they made,
Mm.
which makes it like the lesser resignation than compared to the Great Resignation.
It's coming. It's
'cause-
coming. It's coming back around. It's coming back around.
Not so
Speaking of
great.
things that are not coming back around, Slack is increasing prices and changing the way its free plan works. So I will say this: I mean, the price increase is incremental and not that big of a deal. And the free plan, like instead of it storing 10,000 messages by default, it just stores the last 3 months of messages by default, and that's it. So I just saw this article and I was like, oh, shoulder shrug. Okay, cool. moving on.
I was thinking through why they did this, and I was thinking through some of the Slack groups that I'm in, and then you and I are in together. And very few of the groups that I'm in, I think, hit 10,000 messages in 90 days.
And
I'm wondering if they made this change to be like, we can store a lot less stuff if we say 90 days instead of 10,000 messages. So
Yeah.
let's save ourselves some money on these groups that are not generating any revenue.
yeah,
But I
that's
think
what it
as
is.
a user, I don't think there's going to be really
No.
much of a difference at all.
Not much difference at all. No.
Yeah.
No, I think it's gonna be simple.
Next up, looking to get your funds out of a collapsed crypto platform? Don't get your hopes up. So this has been a little eye-opening. So there's a couple of platforms that have gone into bankruptcy protection, and now
Right.
everybody has realized, wait a
They're
minute,
gone.
wait a minute, my crypto doesn't belong to me. It's an asset of the company that's now exposed to creditors and all this stuff. And apparently Coinbase has made the same potential warning. And now I'm actually thinking, I don't know about you, but I'm actually thinking about moving some of my stuff off of Coinbase and like doing self-custody so that I'm in control.
So
of
you
that
actually
crypto. I
own
don't
your
even
own
have
crypto
that
for
much,
real?
first of all.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know that I read the article, and I don't know that I quite read it that way. So that's good to know and a little disconcerting. I'm not gonna lie. So
Yeah, so I mean, they mentioned in the article like the FDIC and SIPC insurance. So SIPC is for stock, and FDIC is if you do bank deposits. Like a
Right.
lot of people are like, oh, this is like a bank, and so it's protected, and it's like, yeah, no. And
it's
then
not regulated. It's not
yeah,
like
and
that.
in one of these
No.
cases, the company said like, oh, your money is protected because we store all our money with this bank. And then the bank goes, no, that doesn't protect you if they go out of business. It only protects you if we as a bank go out of business. And
Yep.
so it's like, oh, that is not helpful at all. So it's funny. I've actually started looking around for hardware wallets and things like that, but I think I'm just going to move it into regular software wallets and just store all the keys safely somewhere.
mean,
and be like,
You could be
not
one
worry
of
about
those
it.
guys that puts all of your money on a hard drive and then loses the password to the hard drive, and then it's just there forever. I mean, you could do
Yeah,
it,
so
man.
I
Do it.
don't want to be that guy, so I'm not going to do that.
I can't imagine you ever being that guy. All right, moving on. FCC chair seeks to raise national broadband standard. We've talked about this a lot, actually, on this show, that the current broadband standard, I think it was last implemented in like 2015. I think that's what the article said. And it's just way below what is necessary for people to work from home and do school from home and just all the various things that are needed. I think the current standard is what, 25 down?
And 3 megabits up,
And 3 megabits up. They're proposing, what, 100 down? And I forget what the up was. Do you
20
remember?
20 megabits up.
And 20 up. Yeah. So
which
yeah.
still for you and me is a lot slower than what we've got.
It
but
is, but it's still
it's
not
better.
bad. It's
better,
It's,
yeah.
it's doable. It's usable, right? It's usable, and it's usable by more than one person at a time. And I think to me that's the point, is that this idea that, oh, a household only needs 25 down. Well, sure, if it's like one person doing email and a little light internet surfing, that's fine.
Right.
But if you've got two people and they need to do some Zoom or whatever else, it's probably not going to work out that well. So
Or if you've
love
got a
seeing
couple of
this.
kids and they're watching TV and all kinds of stuff going on, yeah, you need
Yeah.
a lot more than 25 or whatever it is. So
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Hopefully this goes through, because I think that'll help push people to expand access to all of this stuff. Somebody that's looking to not expand access to their stuff, or at least make money when you try to access their stuff, Netflix tests another way to charge for password sharing.
Yeah.
So this was a little disconcerting to me, and let me read out a little portion of it in
Yep.
here. Customers in Argentina, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and the Dominican Republic will be asked to pay an extra fee if they use an account for more than 2 weeks outside of their primary residence, the company said
Right.
on Monday. So immediately I was like, wait a minute. I go on vacation sometimes for more than 2 weeks. How is that going to affect me? They go,
Right.
this won't affect the use of Netflix on mobile devices such as smartphones, tablets, or laptops, nor will it affect people on vacation. So to me, I think I'm okay with this, right?
So-
As
wait,
long as
so-
I'm good
so
on
how-
vacation, I'm good.
But it's not going to affect laptop. So I guess it's assuming they're assuming they can track that it's still your device. I guess somehow
I guess so, because sometimes
Okay.
it'll be at home on your IP
Yeah.
address, and
Okay.
then it'll be out or whatever. So maybe they're really kind of focusing in on devices like Roku and things like that.
So the only thing to me that this seems like it would be an issue for is this new like trend for people like moving to a different city for like a month or 2 months or whatever, and then they pop over to another city and to another. It's like
Yeah.
these digital nomads. I mean, we've got
Yeah.
friends that do this on a regular basis. And this would, I think, dramatically affect them. And so I think they're going to have to find a way to sort of deal with that. I think those are small percentages of users, but still probably important to negotiate that, you know?
Yeah, that is kind of annoying if you're doing something like that. And also
Yeah.
like the catalog is not the same when you're traveling like that, which is
Right.
also, by
Yeah.
the way, annoying. And here's a little secret tip for our listeners. If you're about to travel somewhere and you've got shows that you want to watch, download them on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
What's interesting is if you are connected locally while you're traveling and that show is not available there, even if you've downloaded it, your device will not let you watch it. Just turn on airplane mode and then you can watch it. And it's the most idiotic thing,
That's
honestly,
fantastic.
but
That's fantastic. I love that.
it
Okay.
works.
Hey,
And it's always worked. So there you go.
That's all that matters. Speaking of something that might not work, forced sale of Giphy halted as UK court orders review. So they're trying to break up Meta, and it ain't happening. Meta's holding it together. That's all I have to say about it, really. I got
Yeah.
nothing. I have
So
no thoughts on it at all.
the Competition and Markets Authority ordered them to sell off Giphy that they had bought previously in 2020. But then a judge ruled that the way that they did the analysis was not right, and so now they have to reconsider that decision, which maybe will let Facebook hold on to Giphy. And my goodness, we all know that like Giphy is the pinnacle kind of keystone property of the internet.
This
Like,
is what
they're
cracks me up
trying to
so-
save the world through this unwinding of this.
They're trying to break up Facebook, and it's like, all right, smallest, least meaningful asset that we can take from them. Let's take that one. Like really? Come on. Like, isn't there anything better you can do? Like,
I mean, it's like saying like, hey, let's wait till they buy MySpace and then say, no, you can't have MySpace too. That's just too much power in one place. Woo-wee. My goodness. And last up, before Weird and Wacky, lawmakers urge FTC to rein in deceptive VPN advertising. So, we've talked about VPNs, and there's a lot of issues with some VPNs out there where it's not clear who's owning the VPN and what they're doing with your data. So we've talked about this. My favorite, which is Mullvad. The reason why Mullvad is my favorite is because Firefox, Mozilla, they use Mullvad in the browser. So if you sign up for Firefox's VPN service, it's actually a white labeled version of Mullvad. If Mullvad's good enough for Mozilla, it's good enough for me.
Mullvad's
And
amazing.
I found that it works fantastic.
Well, and it's totally anonymous. It doesn't even tie in your email address. I mean, like, there's nothing connected. It's amazing. The only thing it might tie in is your payment processing if you choose to pay via PayPal or something like that. But even that is pretty secure. The other thing
if you pay by Bitcash, you get a discount. So
True. The other thing that was fascinating to me
that.
about this article is it said that some of these VPNs claim to have military grade encryption, and the article said, which isn't actually a thing. I was just like, well, listen, I've got military grade encryption in my house too, like over my Wi-Fi network. That's
I've
what I
got
run,
double
is
secret military encryption.
It's Secret Service, military, CIA encryption over here. That's all I'm trying to say. So, I thought that was pretty funny. So, just be careful. Be careful what you buy.
Time for the Weird and Wacky segment.
Abominable Snowman.
He's not an axe
One
murderer.
of the TAs turned out to be a bot.
All right, it is time for our Weird and Wacky segment. This is fun, and one of them is, I guess, less weird and wacky and more like I want to sign a petition, but that's okay. Let's start off with the first one. How one company has pigeon-proofed all of New York City And this, what's funny, Sanjay, about this is you tagged this article. I had already read the article, and I was like, it might be good. I'm gonna wait. And then you tagged it. I was like, okay, cool, let's do it. So, do you want to walk our listeners through this one?
Yeah. So apparently in New York City, as well as in a lot of other places, obviously pigeons are kind of a scourge. I mean, they're nice looking and everything, and sometimes they'll dive bomb towards your head, but their poop is very acidic and it will eat away at buildings and facades. So this company has created a basically non-visible mesh that they use to wrap around buildings and facades to protect them from pigeons roosting. But what I did not know was apparently pigeons, once they start roosting somewhere, all of their offspring and their descendants continue to roost in that same spot.
Yeah.
And so they were talking about
very territorial.
Yeah. They were talking about the, the Morgan Library in New York. In 1906, it opened, and they said that the pigeons that are roosting there today are likely direct descendants of those who lived there in the 1900s, which is
that's crazy. Wow. There you go. Well, who knew? I mean, it's crazy too. Like this mesh, like they showed pictures, and like you really they make the mesh the same color as the buildings, and you really can't see it. Like it's very, very hard to see. But then they made the comment in the article, like once you do see it, you can't unsee it. So it might ruin some of your appreciation for architecture in some ways if you're not careful.
That's like seeing the arrow in the FedEx logo. Like once you see it, then that's all you ever see.
Or the arrow in the Amazon logo, or for sure.
Yeah, exactly. But I think the technology behind there is really fascinating, and I think they've done a really good job. And some of these buildings are historic buildings, so they have to do them in a way that they can put it up, not destroy the building, and then also in the future be able to take it off, and it looks like it was never even there.
Never there. Yeah, it's brilliant.
Pretty cool.
Speaking of something that's not brilliant, and this is we talked about this briefly before, but it's worth revisiting. So BMW wants to charge for heated seats. Let me just say that again because it's so insane to me. BMW wants to charge for heated seats, and that's a subscription charge. These gray market hackers will fix that. So just to walk you through it, BMW cars or current cars have the ability for heated seats. But in order to use that ability, they want you to pay a subscription, and that subscription is $18 per month, which, I mean, okay, I could see a subscription of like $3 per month, maybe, but $18 a month? Are you kidding me? I honestly, any subscription for heated seats is insane.
Yeah.
But come on, that price point is like just downright preposterous. And we've talked about this before too. Like, I get software subscriptions. Like Tesla's Autopilot. I get why that's a subscription. There's constant development going into that. It's a whole thing. I get that. That makes perfect sense to me. But why not have a subscription for power windows? Right. I mean, come on. Like, where
turning
are you drawing
on the
line
car
here?
after 9 p.m. Like, oh, you only bought the during the day driving package. If you want to drive at night.
Or how about the interstate package? The car is only going to go 50 miles an hour max. So if you get on the interstate, you're going to get killed. I mean, like, where does the line? Where do you drive? It just seems so like I get companies wanting to get subscription money. Subscription money is big money. It's huge business. I get that. But this is a stupid way to do it.
But traditionally, car companies have made their money in recurring revenue after the sale through maintenance. That's where you make your money.
That's true too. Yeah.
These cars don't last forever. Even electric vehicles, there are repairs that need to happen. There is maintenance that needs to happen. Yes, it's less.
Honestly, cars in general just irk me in the way they go about them. Like this whole auto all the way window down for like just the driver's side, but no other windows in the car that they used to do. Like, what is that about? Why would you not do that for every single window? That's the stupidest thing ever. I mean, now most of the current cars actually do it for all the windows, but still, just
I was starting to think,
things.
I was like, I feel like my car does that for all the windows.
Yours probably does, but the one before definitely did not, for sure.
Probably did not. Yeah, no.
Yeah, so it's just
yeah. My car before did not, for sure.
No,
I don't even know if the driver's side one did in my car before.
You did have that one for quite some time. So
yeah.
There you go.
Tech wreck. Time to get your tech wreck.
Tech wreck.
Tech wreck.
All right, Sanjay, Tech Rec time, best time of the show. What do you have for us today?
So I am actually rehashing, it appears, a tech rec from about 90 episodes ago, and there's a good reason why. It's called Raindrop.io. It's a bookmarking service that you can use, and it goes cross-platform, so it works in Firefox, works in Chrome, works on your Android phone, works on iOS, works across different platforms. They recently added a feature which I'm a huge fan of now. And I've been actually using it while we've been recording this episode. So what they now have is a way of highlighting parts of a page stored then with that bookmark. And so then every browser that you have that has that extension logged in, you see those same highlights on every single browser when you pull up that page. And it's not that's just one color. You can do multiple colors, yellow, green, blue, red. You can highlight parts of the page so that, you know, like when we're talking about articles, I can pull that page up and find the thing that I was like, oh, I want to say this when we're recording. And it's easy to find. I don't have to keep notes anywhere else. It's in the page. It's in the extension. And now I've actually got a category of the articles that we talk about for Tech Talk Y'all. So there's a grouping in Raindrop.io. And then now I can easily search all of those as well as kind of my notes in there too. So... And I'm just doing it. I'm on the free version of Raindrop.io, and all of this works. And there's a paid version as well, which gets you more access to more stuff. But obviously, I'm getting away with the free one. But now I'm thinking I might try it out and do the paid version because I love this feature and it works really, really well.
They hooked you. That's what they do.
They hooked me. That's a great feature.
And that's a good example of a good way to get somebody to subscribe, right? You add a great feature that people need and want to pay for, and then they do it. Not a dumb feature that should already exist. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Exactly.
BMW. Anyway.
BMW. There you go.
So,
what about you, Adam? What do you got for us?
So this week I've been getting a little bit more into creating Snapchat videos, and so not Snapchat videos, TikTok videos, and it's been really interesting. Like I'm kind of taking other stuff that I've written or live streamed or whatever, and I'm breaking it down into small snippets and sharing them on TikTok. And I'm going to recommend a website, an app called Snaptik.app. That's SNAPTIK.app. And what it allows you to do is take your TikTok video and remove the TikTok logo from the video and then download it. And then you can use that video on Reels or any other place that you would like to repost the video so you don't have to go and recreate all of your content. So I thought it was kind of interesting. Apparently it's used by a lot of creators out there and it works really, really well. So I figured, hey, why not? I'll recommend it. So for
and is
all
that
of
why
you
you got
listeners that are
confused
using
about
TikTok.
Snapchat versus TikTok? Because it's
because it says Snaptik. Yeah. So I read Snaptik and I thought Snapchat immediately. And no, it's
brain,
TikTok.
yeah.
It's TikTok. Yeah. So, yeah, it's been good. So that's my recommendation. Check it out. Sanjay, wrapping it up, man. How can our listeners find and connect with you?
They can find me on Twitter at Sanjay. That's SANJAY or sanjayparekh.com. What about you, Adam?
You can find me on my website at adamjwalker.com. I'm there. It's got links to all of my social accounts. But listen, look me up on YouTube and subscribe. I'd really love to have more subscribers there. So check it out. I'm trying to grow that audience.
J stand for jaywalking? Is that what you do all the time?
I did some jaywalking the other day. I'm not going to lie. I got away with it too.
Yeah. Nobody gave you a ticket. That's good.
No tickets.